Yes, just a quick recap on whatever we have completed yesterday. Yesterday we have seen methods of string. Okay, so if you see this Python file and if you execute, then you will get complete idea about what method we are using and what that method it is doing with respect to different string variable that we have defined in our code. So we have studied about length method, what length method it is doing. It is used to find the length of the string. So basically that variable you need to pass in the length function. Similarly, we have second function called upper function. What upper function it is doing? It is used to convert this thing into uppercase. Okay, and this syntax also I wrote here, and usage of this upper function is string dot upper, so it will convert your string 1 to uppercase. Similarly, we have used lowercase. Let me on my camera. So similarly, we have used this capitalize method. Capitalize method, it is used to convert your first character into uppercase. Then we have this fifth method called isLower. IsLower meaning it will check whether your string is in lowercase or uppercase, and it returns you the boolean type, like if this string is in lowercase, then it will return true. If it is not, then it will return false. Okay. So similarly, we have isUpper method, which it is used to check whether a string is in uppercase or not. Similarly, we have the split method. This is very important method. The split method, it will split your string into multiple substring based on some criteria that which will you will pass here in this parameter space. By default, if you don't pass anything, then by default it will split with respect to space. But if you want to split your string with respect to some specific character, that character you will have to pass here. So we have used this hash uh, to split string 5, and we have used this @ to split string 6. We'll see the output. Then we have dot join method. Dot join method, it is used to join multiple strings, and based on you can write in any character, and based on this character it will join multiple strings. We'll see this output also. Then we have this index method. Index method, it is used to check the index of particular character. So for example, here in string 1, what is our string 1? String 1 is Python. Okay, so if I want to find the index of first character, then what will I'll write? I'll write string 1 dot index of p. So it will return me the index of this p character. Then here we have type all the characters, and here we are finding all the index position of all character in string 1. Similarly, for string 5, we are finding the index position of this hash. Then we have another method called starts with. So this method, it will check whether your string starts with this particular character or not. So in this example, we have used string 1 dot starts with of p. So it will check whether string 1 will start with p or not. So its return type is boolean. If it starts with p, then it will return true. If not, it will return false. So similarly, like starts with, it will check ends with. Ends with will check the last character. Okay. Then we have this count method. Count method, it is used to check whether uh, here we'll pass the character. It will give us the number of occurrences uh, present in that string. So let me execute this. So this is the output of your first method length. So length of string 1 is 6, string 2 is 5, string 3 is 16, string 4 is 10. Then method 2 is is dot upper. So what it is doing, it is converting my lowercase variable to uppercase. If you see, when we initialize string 1, then we have Python is in lowercase. Then dot upper converts it into uppercase. Similarly, the string 4, we have statistics string, and the statistics is in uppercase, and this lowercase converts it into lowercase. Then similarly, this capitalize what it will do, it will convert your first character of the string into uppercase. So we have Python and all characters are in lowercase, right? So it is converting only first character into uppercase. So similarly, is lower method, it is used to check whether your string is in lowercase or not. So I am checking for string 1. For string 1 it is returning me true. For string 4 it is returning me false. Okay. So is upper method is also used to check whether that string is in uppercase or lowercase. This string 4, if you check, this is in caps. Okay. So for string 4 it is returning me true, and for string 1 it is returning me false. And this another method called split, it is used to split this string into multiple substrings. Okay. So we have this string 5, and in this string 5, if you see, we don't have any space right here. We have this big string, and if you see here, we have multiple words that we have concatenated with respect to this hash. Okay. So here I find the length, this string 5. Okay. If you see here, this string 5, it don't have any spaces, right? This is complete string. And I have already told you that this split function, by default, the split character is space. Okay. As we don't have any spaces here, so the result you would get is as 1 only, because it would not be able to split this string. So we have again split this string 5 with respect to hash. Okay. If you see here, it will split this complete string into 4 substrings: Python, stats, ML, and DL. And the length of the string is 4. Okay. So we have string 6 also. There, the value is my email ID. Okay. And we have splitted this email ID with respect to @. So at the output, we'll get 2 substrings. Okay. And the type of this split is list. Then we have join method. What join method it is doing, it is used to concatenate multiple strings. So we have used this comma, then dot join, and we are passing string 1 and string 2, and this is the output that we are getting: Python comma the value of the string 2. Similarly, we are using this dollar symbol to concatenate string 1 and string 4. So this is the output, and if you see, the concatenated operator is We have concatenated string 1 and string 4, and you will see this dollar in between. You can use space also here, okay. Then we have concatenated string 1 and string 2 with respect to this hash, this star. Then we have another method called index, and this index method, it is used to find the index position of that particular character present in your string, okay. And in string 5 we have multiple this hash, right? So if you see string 5, this is my string 5, and we have multiple hash, and we are trying to find the index position of this hash. So what it will do, it will return the first, where it gets the first occurrence of this hash, it will return that index position. Then we have this method 10, and in this method we are checking whether my string starts with particular character or not. So I'm checking string 1 starts with P. So string, what is my string 1? String 1 is Python, okay. So it is starting with P, so it returns me this boolean value. And I'm checking whether my string 1 starts with Y. So in that case I'm getting false. Okay, so we have one method called ends with to check whether the string ends with particular character. So in ends with, we are checking with n. For n, string 1 is my Python, right? And last character is n. So in this case, I'm getting true. And for another character, for any other character, if you write, you will get false. So method 12 is count. So it returns me the number of occurrences of that particular character from the string. So my string is string 4 is statistics. Okay. So here I'm trying to check the count of A. So how many times this A occurs here? Okay. If you see in this string 4, you will get only one. So at the output we are getting only one. What about this S? S 1, 2, and 3. Three times we are getting S in this string. Okay. So at the output we are getting 3. Similarly for T, we have 3 occurrences here. So it is returning 3. For I, we have only 2 occurrences, this I and I. So we are getting 2. And for C, we are getting only 1. Okay. So these are all the methods that we have studied for string. There are more methods, but that you can use based on your requirement. I'll send the complete list of methods, but these methods, whatever we discuss, those are important. One method I'll also cover. If you see in string 3, you will see this trailing and leading spaces. Okay. So whenever you will see this kind of thing, leading and trailing spaces, that you need to remove. Okay. So basically at the output we need this exact string, not these spaces. Okay. You can see these spaces as white space also. Okay. So there is one method which is used to remove these spaces. Let me check for that method. Let us write. So let me print. We have defined string 4. Okay, not string 4, string 3. In string 3, we have leading and trailing spaces. Okay, and requirement is we need to remove those trailing and leading spaces. String 3 dot strip. So let us check whether we are getting. Okay. So if you see here, let me print this string also. Okay. If you see here, we have printed this string S3. Okay. And S, if you see here, we are getting this leading and trailing space. Leading space you can observe here, but trailing space you cannot observe here. Yeah, yeah. If you select the last portion, you will get this trailing spaces. Okay, and let me print the length of this string also, so that you will get some clear idea that before removing the spaces, what is the length, and after removing the length, trailing and leading spaces, what would be the length. Okay, so let me print this and let me check the length of this also. 'Okay'. Okay, so here if you see my string 3, the length of my string 3 is 16. Okay, and we have used this strip method. What it is used, why it is used, this strip method, it is used to remove leading and trailing spaces. Okay, so basically before removing this white spaces, there was a length 16. After removing it, I was getting length 12. Okay, so similar to it, let me write what this strip it is doing. 13 string dot strip to remove white spaces, to remove leading and trailing. Leading and trailing means from the beginning and from the ending. Okay, to remove leading and trailing white spaces. Method 13. So there are two methods more. Here this strip method, it is what it is doing, it is removing your leading as well as trailing space. If you want to remove only leading space, means this space, these white spaces, then for that we have one method called L strip. And if you want to remove this last portion, that is trailing, for that we have R space, L space and R space, R strip. Let me copy this. 1 second. L strip and R strip. Let me save it and run it again. So if you see here, 1 second, I didn't correct it. Let me correct this. So we have method 14, and in this method, if you see here at the output, this is my actual string, and I'm using else strip. So else what else strip it is doing? It is used to remove the leading spaces, not trailing spaces. Leading spaces means before the actual string, whatever spaces are there, it will remove that. So if you see the length of this strip, we are getting 12. Okay, because this strip, it is what it is doing, it is used to remove leading as well as trailing spaces. But what this L strip it is doing, L strip it is used to remove only leading spaces. So the length of this L after using this L strip, what would be the length of our string? It is as 14, because it has removed your leading space, not trailing space. Okay, so we have another method called, let me correct the description. Else strip it is used. Okay, so let me copy it again. We have method 15 called R strip. You can remember this L strip meaning left strip, and this R strip meaning right strip. Trailing. Okay, so basically we have two spaces at the starting and at the ending. Okay, so this L strip removed the leading spaces, and this sorry, 1 second, I didn't change the description of this one. R strip. Okay, so this L strip, what it is doing, it is used to remove the leading spaces, and this R strip, it is used to remove the trailing spaces. Okay, so if you see at the output of R strip, you will see these leading spaces, but you will not see any trailing spaces. Similarly, in L strip, you don't see the leading spaces, you will see the trailing spaces. Okay, and we have two spaces at the beginning, at the ending. So after removing this leading or trailing spaces, you will get the same count, that is 14, and initial count initial length count was 16. Okay, so these are three methods that are used to remove the white spaces, but generally this L strip and R strip you don't use. Generally we use this strip method. Basically we need to remove whatever white spaces we are getting from the beginning as well as ending. Okay, so this is these are all things that we have covered for method for string methods. Okay, we'll start with list data type. Do you have any question? If you have, then you can ping in chat box, or you can ask me at the ending of the session. So whatever files that we are writing, we are writing here. So all are descriptive. So if you open this notebook like after 1 month, then you would be able to understand what we have written here. Okay. So let me create one new file because we need to start with list data type. Can anyone tell what is the list data type? And I think we have discussed the brief introduction of list data type, whenever we have started with data type. Can anyone tell what is list data type? Can anyone try? Okay, I'll start. So basically, what is list data type? List data type is a type uh, of in string we have collection of characters, right? So in list we have collection of elements, and basically it is a collection of mutable, and this is mutable type, means you can add or delete elements from this list, and it is ordered list. Ordered meaning the sequence, and however you are entering any element to the list, it will maintain the same order. Okay, so basically list data type is a type uh, where we have ordered, and we can easily edit or add or uh, delete element from the list, and it maintains the ordered. Okay, the sequence, whatever sequence we are using to enter the element, it will preserve that sequence only. Okay, so let me declare some list, and this list can contain multiple data, say similar data type as well as different data type, meaning it can contain homogeneous data type as well as heterogeneous data type. Homogeneous data type meaning elements of similar types. Okay, let me declare Python stats. Okay, so this first data type I had defined, and if you see all the we have five elements here, and this comma separate these five elements, and if you see the type of the string that all the five elements have type string. Okay, so in list 2 I'll define the elements of type number. So if you see here, in string by default it changes its color, right? So once I use single quote or double quote, it changes the color of the string. Okay, number we don't have any color. By default it is changing. Okay, I'm not changing it. Later you don't ask me why how you have changed the color of this variable. Okay, and we have this reserved this orange color for boolean. Okay, so let me define one more string of different data type of different elements. Mm, true. Okay, so basically we have defined three types: list 1, list 2, list 3, and list 4. List 1 contains all the element of type string. List 2 contain all the element of type number. List 3 contain element of type boolean, and this list 4 contain, this is hybrid list where we have a given number as well as string as well as boolean value. Okay, so let us print one second. Okay, so let us print this list one, list one. Similarly, we'll print all list. We have four list defined. And let me save it list method. And if we see its type, let me do one thing. Let me print its type after printing the exact element of that list. Type and length. So basically I'm creating one complete statement, and in that statement I'm printing the list, its type and its length I'll print. So this length method, previously we have used this length method to find the length of string. Then in this list data type, it will give you the length of elements, like length of whatever elements you have present in the list. In string, what this length method it is doing, it is counting what are all characters present in that particular string. So if you use this length method in list, it will give you how many elements are present in that list. List one and list two. Similarly, for list 3 also I'll do the same. List 3. So basically what I'm doing, I'm printing the element of list as well as type and length in one statement only. Okay, let us check. Let me save it. Let me run it. One second. See, there is syntax error, and it is showing that unmatched, and it is also highlighting where is the exact error. So we have one parenthesis more that is not needed. Let me save it and let me run it again. So see, this is my list one. This is my first print statement where My list one is this Python stats NLP MLDL of type. What is the type of my list? Of list type, and the length of list one is 5. Means basically we have 5 elements in this list. Okay. Similarly, for second print statement, we have list 2, and this list 2 also having 5 element. Okay. Then we have list 3. In list 3 we have only 2 elements, so you will get 2 here. And in list 4 we have 3 elements of type length list, and length is 3. Okay. So in this way we can type length and type in one statement only. Okay. What we did, we have concatenated everything with respect to this comma. We haven't used format method. We can use format method also. Let me do one thing. Let me use format method for this to print this last string, last list. So in first place, I want this list. Then off I'll take inside for first position, and dot format. You can use any way to print. I'm just showing you how we can use dot format method to print all this. Let me save it and let me run it again. So see, this last thing, you will get same result, but this last print statement we have used dot format method. Okay, in that format method I have written complete statement, and wherever I need the variable, in that place I put the index, like in curly braces 0 1 2, and in dot format method I have just given the three list name here: list, type of list, and length of list. In this way also you can print whichever way you find easy for you, that you can use. Okay. So let me define one more list called list 5, and that I'll keep as empty. So I'll do one thing, I'll copy this and I'll check for list 5. Let me save it and let me run it again. Okay, so my list 5 is empty, right? So it will not give me anything. So length of list 5 is 0, because we don't have any element in this list. So let us start with what are methods available for the list. So till now we have printed the element in the list, and what is the type and what is the length of that particular list. Okay. So my first method is before beginning with methods. There are multiple way. See, if you want to concatenate multiple list, okay, there are multiple ways. But the inbuilt method that this list data type has given is dot append. Let me type on. So basically, list five dot. There is one method called dot append, and this method it is doing. Uh, it is used to add any element. Let me. This is my syntax. So you can say element or item. Okay. In some article you will find element. If some article you will find item. So both are the same. So my list 5 is empty. Okay. Let me add something here. List 5 dot append, and there is one shortcut. So if you type, like here I have typed a, okay. So if there is any method that exists, that by default it is there in the list data type, what I'll do, I'll type uh, a, and just I'll click on tab, so it will complete, it will get that method, okay. But if there are multiple methods that starts with a, so you'll have to type one another character to get that method. So this append method, what this append method it is doing, it is used to add element to the list. To add element to the list. Okay. So let me do one thing. What string I'll add here? Anything we can add. IPL is going on, right? And which team won yesterday? RR is out, right? RR lost yesterday. So let me append this and let me print it. So we'll check. And see, at the output, if you see here in this console window, previously my list 5 was empty, okay. What I did, I have appended this RR element to list 5, right? And what I'm getting here, I'm getting this RR appended to this list, okay. So if you want to add multiple, if you want to add any element to the list, then you can add. But here one thing, if I'll try to add RCB is there, right? So if I try to write multiple element to this append method, then it would not allow. So what is the error I'm getting? Type error. List dot append. List dot append takes exactly one argument. And how many arguments we have given? We have given two arguments, right? So in append you can pass only one argument. So if I want to append this RCB, then I'll have to write this statement again, and in this I'll have to write RCB, okay. And let me print again. So see at the output you are getting two elements, right? So let me print all this. List 5 you have printed. Print list 5. After appending items, adding RR to the list. RCB. Okay. Let me add some more elements here. My favorite team was Mumbai Indian, but it is not there. Chennai is also out. Okay. So this is my list. Let me add this one. Original list. Original. Okay. So see, if this is my original list which is empty, then list 5 after appending items. Okay. So how many items we have appended? This R, RCB, MI and Chennai. Okay. So basically we, and if we find the length of this list, let me type it here only. Length of list 5 is list of 5. So if my original list was empty and their length is 0, and whenever after appending items we have length 4 because we have 4 items here in the list. Okay. So basically this append method, it is used to add element to the list. Okay. And only one element you can add here. You cannot add multiple elements in this append method. Okay. So I'll do one thing. This list 5, I think you all get idea what this append method it is doing. Okay. Suppose I want to add multiple elements to the list. Okay. I know it takes only one argument, but I want to add multiple elements. How I can add? Okay. So let me try. Let me try to append this list 4 to list 5. Okay. And this list 4 having 3 elements that I want to add to the to list 5. Second. So this append method, it is used to add elements. Okay. And if I want to add multiple elements to the list, previously we have seen that we cannot add multiple elements, but I want to add it. So how can there is one way. So to add multiple element to the list, you can add list you can pass list in this append method. Let me try. List 5 dot append, and here I'll pass list 4. Where is my list? What is my list 4? In list 4 we have this 3 element 100, Python and true. Okay, and let me try to print it again. This I'll print, and after appending list 4. Okay, let me print it. So if you see here, right, so this statement here, we have 4 elements. Okay, RR, RCB, MI and Chennai, and length is 4. Okay, then what I did, I have appended list 4 to where? List 5. Okay, list 5 after appending list 4. So if you see this thing, let me copy this anyway. Not bad. Not now. Okay, so this is my list. Let me connect to my pen. One second. One epic pen. Okay, so if you see here, previously my list was empty. Okay, I have defined this list 4. No, list 5 was my empty list. Then what I did, I keep on adding multiple things to the list. Okay, so my list 5 becomes we have some elements in this list 5. Okay, but we have seen that we cannot able to add multiple elements to the list if we pass dot append, and in this dot append we can able to add single element, but we cannot able to add multiple element. Okay, so but I want to add a multiple element. What we'll do, we can do, or if you want to add multiple elements to the list, then uh, you'll have to pass list uh, to dot append method, and this dot append method, it will append this list to your actual list. Okay, so by default it will take only one argument, right? In that if it is taking one argument, but you want to append multiple elements to the list, so this is the way that you can append multiple elements to the list. But in append method you will have to pass list. Okay, not multiple element by comma, it will not take. Okay, so if you see here, how many elements we have here? Index position of first element is 0, then 1, then 2, then 3, and we have this 4, 5, 6. But if you see in the console, how many elements we are getting? We are getting only length is how many, what? Length is 5 only, and initially it was 4. After appending list 4 to list 5, I was getting only one length more. Like previously it was 4, now it is 5. Why it is so? So if you carefully observe here, so this is my starting of a list where we have square bracket. This is my starting of the list where we have square bracket, and this is my end. Okay. But if you see here, after appending this list, after appending list 4 to list 5, what I am getting? I am getting this inner list also. Okay. This inner list I am getting, which is appended to actual list. Okay. And the complete index of this element or item is 4. So basically my range is 0 to 4, meaning what is the length? My length is 5. Okay. So whenever you try to append list to any other list, it will add it, but it will add complete list as single element. Okay. And this complete in this complete list, like in string concept we have substring, right? So this is my outer list, and this inside, let me use highlighter. Do we have highlighter here? Yes, we have highlighter here. This is my complete, one second. This is my complete list, and in this complete list, what we have? We have this inner list. Okay. So this is my outer list and this is my inner list. So but I want to retrieve, here my requirement is I want to retrieve all the elements from this list. I think you all know about slicing, right? String slicing you have heard, and not heard, you have already practiced. I think 2 3 days we have invested in learning string slicing, right? So this string slicing concept will apply here also in list. In string slicing, whatever index position that you are passing, that applies for character. Here in list, that applies for the string, that element here. Okay, let me do one thing. Let me tell you. Okay, so index position of this, like in string, this was my first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth index, right? So here in my list, the index position of your first element is 0, then 1, 2, 3, and this complete element is as 4. Okay. So let us try to explore this. So we have seen one append method. Okay, here. Let me close it. Using list slicing, will iterate all the list, or will check this list 5 will I'll try to print. Let me retrieve first element of this list 5. Okay, first list 5 of 0. How many elements we have here, right? We have four elements. Okay, and index starts 4 or 5. How many elements are there? 1 2 3 4, and after appending this list 4 to list 5, we have 5 elements. Okay, let me print this. Okay, so here is my list 5, and if I what is the first index? In the first index is 0, and at 0th position I'm getting this RR. Then for first position I'm getting RCB, for second I'm getting MI, for third I'm getting Chennai, and for fourth what I'm getting this complete inner list. Okay, and it contains 100 Python and true. So can anyone tell if I want to retrieve this Python? So how can I retrieve this Python? Anyone can try? I want to print this Python only, not complete list. So how can I do it? Anyone? Let me tell. So for example, you know this fourth index contains this complete element, right? Complete element meaning in this fifth list 5 we have the single element, and at the last index we have list 4 that is appended in list 5. Okay, so if I want to retrieve what are all elements present in the list in the fourth index, for that I'll have to use multiple indexes here. So 0, 1 and 2, 0, 1 and 2. Let me print it. Okay, so at index fourth position I'm getting this complete list, right? So if I want to again fetch these element, what I'll have to do, I'll have to keep this 4 same. Okay, and here what is the index of this list? At 0th position 100 is there, at first index position Python is there, and at second position this true is there, right? So in this way you can retrieve element from the list using index. Here also you can apply negative indexing also, right? That negative indexing is your today's assignment, or you can say task. So whatever things we have learned using this positive indexing in this list, the same thing that you will have to uh, get using negative indexing. Okay, so do you have any doubt? Let me.